So government's new plan to tackle hijacked buildings could stretch to private owners losing theirs too. Today we're unpacking that national crackdown, Shoprite surprise banking ambitions, and why car sales are hitting decade highs even as local factories shed jobs. Plus, in the Wildcard, we revisit that shipwreck just off Clifton Beach that turned out to be one of the most important discoveries. My friends, if you're enjoying the show, be sure to like and subscribe. And now, with all that out the way, let's get into it. So hijacked and abandoned buildings have become a national crisis, and government is now warning that even private owners could lose their properties if they let them rot. You see, the Expropriation Act, which was signed into law this year, allows the state to seize derelict sites in the public interest, and officials say that they are ready to use it, even without compensation. And the scale here is staggering. I mean, Johannesburg estimates nearly 1,100 hijacked buildings, many of them run by syndicates who charge these desperate tenants to live in these unsafe, crowded spaces. Cape Town has flagged 43 sites under what they call Operation Bringback, which is this drive to reclaim and repurpose abandoned state-owned properties. Then we have Tshwane, meanwhile, which is drafting a new bylaw to force private owners to fix derelict buildings or risk expropriation. And so with this in mind, it's not just the state's own properties at stake here. Many of these hijacked buildings actually belong to private owners no longer in the picture. Some moved overseas, others died, and in many cases, the cost and danger of reclaiming a site has left them effectively abandoned. And so that's where the controversy lies. You see, if a building has been left to decay with no active owner to maintain or reclaim it, should the state have the right to step in and take it for the public good? It's a fair question, but it also opens up the door to a far murkier debate over how far expropriation should really go. Shoprite isn't just coming for your grocery money, it wants your bank account too. You see, CEO Peter Engelbrecht says that the retailer is preparing to roll out South Africa's only zero-cost bank account, building on the 1.2 billion customer visits it clocked in the past year. So the plan starts small. I mean, Shoprite already offers a basic money market account that doesn't allow for debit orders. This is most used by grant recipients. But the group says that customers do want more control and that the end goal here is a fully fledged account with minimal fees and free transactions as long as you swipe inside Shoprite's own ecosystem. And if you think about it, this isn't uncharted territory. I mean, Discovery launched its own bank in 2018 off the back of its medical aid base, while Time Banking Capitec proved how quickly scale follows when you meet consumers where they already are. Now, Shoprite, which is already pulling in 4.9 billion rand in weekly sales, believes that its size and trust factor gives it the same edge, and that the checkout counter could double as South Africa's next banking frontier. South Africa's auto factories are under pressure. I mean, Ford has cut jobs, Mercedes is scaling back, but in saying that, our car market itself is on an absolute tear. August sales smashed through 51,800 new vehicles, up nearly 19% from last year, and the strongest month since 2015. It's also the 11th consecutive month of growth, leaving year-to-date sales 14.5% higher. So this surge is being driven by cheaper borrowing costs, softer fuel prices, and a bit of breathing room in household budgets. Demand is the strongest in the mid-range bracket of 3.5 to 400,000 rand, with millennials leading the charge. I mean, nearly half of WesBank's customers are under the age of 35. So Toyota remains the king of the road. The Hilux once again led the market with 3,325 units, while the locally built Corolla Cross topped the passenger car segments at just over 2,700 units. VW's Polo Vivo and Suzuki Swift rounded up the top sellers, and despite the rise of Chinese SUVs, Toyota has grown its market share to 25.6%. And before we cruise on to our Bagel Bite of the day, here's a couple other headlines worth knowing. For starters, the city of Cape Town is taking more than 17,000 residents to court over nearly 1 billion rand in unpaid rates. Critics blame steep tariff hikes for households falling behind, while the city defends its tough debt recovery drive. Woolworths' profits plunged 24% despite record food sales, as promotions and higher costs just ate into margins. Its food division and online sales surged, but fashion, beauty, and home remained sluggish, leaving shareholders with a sharply lower dividend. And the ANC will use its December council meeting to debate whether or not the Reserve Bank should do more than just fight inflation, like boosting jobs or growth, but businesses warn that this change in roles could rattle investors. And on to our much anticipated Bagel Bite of the day. Let's see what you got. The question is, what is the capital city of Brazil? Is it A, Rio de Janeiro, B, Sao Paulo, or C, Brasilia? We'll give you the answer at the end of the show. And on to our wildcard section. Have you ever heard about the astonishing shipwreck just off Clifton Beach? In 1794, the Portuguese ship São José Africa left Mozambique carrying more than 400 enslaved people bound for Brazil. Days later, rounding the Cape, it struck rocks just off the iconic Clifton Beach and went down in the surf. Around 200 people died. The rest were taken ashore and sold into slavery in the Cape. Now, how's this? For more than 2 centuries, the wreck lived on as a rumor, a story whispered along Cape Town's shoreline, but just never proved. Divers searched without success, and many assumed it was lost forever. Then, just less than a decade ago, researchers finally confirmed the site. It was just 100 meters off Clifton Beach. They uncovered iron ballast used to stabilize the ship, along with shackles and timber fragments, the scattered remains of a vessel long since broken apart by the sea. So it's reportedly one of the first slave shipwrecks ever identified in the world, not buried in the Caribbean or the Americas, but lying just off of one of Cape Town's busiest beaches, hidden in plain sight for over 200 years. And as for that bagel bite, the answer is Brasilia. I know, I'm just as shocked. But how interesting is this? This city was purpose-built in 1960 to replace Rio as Brazil's capital. It was a way to move political power inland and help spur development across the country. It worked so well that Brasilia is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, one of the few cities in the world planned entirely before it was built. And my friends, that's it for today's show. Thanks so much for tuning in until the very end. Again, this is your weekly reminder that if you do prefer your news on the go, whether you're running, driving, or cycling, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Link to both of those are either in our description below or our bio. I hope you guys all have a great day, and be sure to tune in tomorrow for our final Daily Bagel show of the work week. It is going to be a goodie. I'll catch you guys all then. Cheers.